Hello and welcome to another podcast of The Odd Couple. This is Siddharth here.
I'm Arjun.
And I'm Dr. Sheesh.
What's up, guys? It was a pretty good week. I'm right now in Chennai and the weather is amazing. It's like 22 degrees, dude. Raining and it's cold.
I love Chennai in December and
Oh
January.
yeah, it's brilliant to hear. Yeah, and it's perfect for a nice bhaji and some nice hot tea. It is just beautiful.
Talking about the tea there, funny story. I was at work with a friend and we decided to go have tea. The bugger, while picking up his tea, dropped it and I was laughing at him, making fun. And while I was laughing, I managed to spill the tea which was in my hand. And the bugger turned around to me and said, "Karma's a bitch." That got me thinking that is there something really like karma? Because I don't believe in it. But he clearly, once I got started talking to him and he was like, I totally believe in karma and you sow what you reap, etc.
In this context, what was it? Because you made fun of him and it happened to you.
Yeah, exactly. Because I made fun of him, I spilled my coffee. Yeah, actually, if I wasn't laughing at him, my hands wouldn't have been shaking and I wouldn't have dropped my tea, right? So if you actually look at it, yeah, he's right by saying that. But I don't put two and two like that and then say, yeah, it happens. I don't know. I think it's chance.
See, like any kind of terminology, it is always rooted in some kind of a logic of sorts. So instead of calling it a chance or something, there's a very fancy term called karma in Hindu philosophy. But there is also proverbs, right? What you sow, so shall you reap. Pay it forwards. What goes around comes around. So these are just different forms of it.
That's the interesting part, no? That it's rooted in not just Hinduism. I think Hinduism just gave it a terminology and called it karma and gave it a word, right? But it has been there in every system, in every country, in every language. They all have proverbs about it. So everybody has it. We just coined the word for it. That's about it.
At the same time, I'm a great believer of karma purely because it makes a lot of sense to me personally. From a perspective where in case you do good things, and I've seen it happen quite often, it's not doing good for the heck of getting something or expecting something back. That's the core philosophy of that. If you do something good without any expectations back, it comes back manyfold. And it's come in many forms. Like an opportunity or something out of the blue just falls on my lap. Why does it happen to me like that?
Here's my problem with it. When, let's say, you do something good, I have noticed that people who give, thinking that, okay, I will give and something good is going to happen to me at some period of time, they give more than they ever get. If you count the scales, the person who gives always gives more than whatever they receive.
Right?
So it's not a fair trade. So then karma is not really true in the sense that if you're giving more than what you're getting, so it's not what you're sowing, you're reaping, no?
Point number one, this is not business, it's not transactional.
I'm trying to make it logical.
Philosophies are not based on logic. These are intangible things which words are being given to or a definition which is given to, but there is a larger experience which is required by living your life in a particular way to probably understand this idea. Now, it's like religion. It's like some people are extremely religious. I don't understand that. But a concept like karma is something which I understand because it's something which I have experienced it, but probably I don't have the gift or the gab to explain it properly. That's where I'm coming from. Or how about you, Arjun?
What I'm getting from your conversation is you're saying it from a point of view of doing something good. But what about you reap what you sow, what goes around comes around, as in you get what you deserve is also there, no?
Absolutely. And that is where the concept hits you really hard. As you said, it's just not about good, it's also about bad. It's also about being an asshole to somebody, and that's something that we spoke about in our first episode. These things come back to bite you. Stuff like taking a bribe or something like that. Do corrupt people sleep well? It bears on your conscience.
How?
How, Ashish? I can't explain unless you walk in my shoes and you live my life.
No, that's an easy way to get off what I'm trying to say without any explanation. Just take it on faith, but that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm not trying to take anything.
Okay, do you believe in Jesus Christ?
I believe he was a person who brought the message of the Lord.
Fair enough. Do you believe in God?
I believe in God.
Can you prove that God exists?
No.
It's called a double negative argument. Just because you can't prove doesn't mean that your belief doesn't exist. Same way, just because I can't explain eloquently what my idea of karma and why I believe in it, it doesn't give you a reason to shoot it down. It is great to have an argument about it. Let's have that. Not argument. Let's have a discussion about it.
That's exactly what we're trying to do. I'm not trying to shoot you down in any way. I'm just asking you because no, I didn't. I just said how. Meaning there are a lot of people who do a lot of bad things. And how often do things catch up to them? Now let's take our corporate bankers who take huge parachutes and leave. And nothing ever happens to them. And the poor person continues to suffer. So for me, karma is not really tangible in any sense. I don't have a formula which I can use across the board. And that is what is difficult for me to wrap my head around, because I can't put it across the table and say it's fair here, it's fair here, it's fair here. It doesn't work that way.
Exactly. And hence karma is a bitch. It's not fair.
Exactly. So what I'm just trying to say is we use that terminology when it suits us.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm saying it's more of just something which is very intangible, and so I don't relate to it because it's so intangible for me.
Dr. Sheesh, but here's another take on your how you said it could either be a get out of jail free card that people use, or there is a way they kind of justify karma, and it may not be in this life. And the punishment you get back, again coming back to what Sid says, may not be visibly tangible in terms of what you will accept at this man's punishment. Does he sleep at night? What tragedies has happened in his life? What is going on in behind the scenes of this man's life that we don't see, that he reaps what he sows? It's not our idea of judgment.
Yes. And extending to Arjun's thought and what he said, there is something called sins of our fathers. So this whole what good or bad that you do is usually reaped not by you, but by the next generation or a generation after that. That's how it normally flows. It is not like immediate ATM where you put in a PIN number, you do a good thing and it comes back immediately. Or according to Hindu philosophy, it goes a step further. It goes, you pay for your sins or you're rewarded for your good deeds in your next life. So that's the Hindu philosophy of it. Whereas in Christian philosophy, rebirth doesn't exist. And hence they're saying it's within this life itself and you will reap it. But the sins of the fathers exist in Christian philosophy that the next generation will reap or be punished of what the father or the earlier generation did.
I mean, that a classic example would be the sin which Adam committed when he first broke the commandment of the Lord, right? Where he ate off the apple. So,
but that way everyone's been paying for it ever since, no?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that it's there across all religions. But here's a conundrum of mine. Okay, so let's assume I am at a traffic signal and one of these guys come up to me and I give him, a homeless guy, I gave him $100. I feel really bad for him. I'm generous today. Here you go. Here's $100. Take it to your family. Do something useful with it. He takes that, uses it to either get a shot of drug or to get a drink or whatever, and something happens to him. God forbid, he dies. What is my karma for doing that?
Nothing.
You understand my problem?
You are responsible only for your own actions. It's his karma of what he does with his actions. You did it in good faith. Now, him misusing your good faith is his, it comes under his account, if you want to call it, or his karma. It's not that he died because of, it's years of abuse, years of bad decisions, years of bad luck that led to that particular thing. You probably were just an angel who gave him that final 100 rupees to...
Thanks. This is what I say. We can use it how we want and make ourselves feel good or feel bad.
But look at it the other way. Let's not look at it as good deeds or bad deeds. We talk a lot about good vibes. I get good vibes, I get bad vibes. Let's say you go house hunting. And like how you chose the current house that you're living in Dr. Sheesh, I'm sure when you walked in, you felt some kind of good vibes. Yes, the deal might have been great, the finance options, all those things are different. Facilities, amenities, XYZ. But you would have also felt, hey, there's some good vibe to it. And the same thing is true for bad vibes also. Now, why are certain places of worship? It kind of resonates with you. That good vibes resonate with you. And it may not be all churches, but certain churches resonate with that power of that vibration. Right? Same thing with temples or anything else. Those are the good vibes. And that's why people congregate over there for that particular energy or the transfer of energy that is happening.
But maybe it doesn't have anything to do with an religion as such. No, there are some things that are beyond the purview of religion. Maybe this was a force that we gave religion to.
Exactly. Since it is so hard to explain, it's easier to be packaged within religion itself.
Could it just be a balance? Like the yin and the yang is always been a balance, right? So
Yes.
if you look at it like an energy form, like what you said, yeah, some positive vibe, some form of energy which you get, it could just be positive and negative balances all just balancing out. So on a large cosmic scale, now probably on a cosmic scale, I could understand it saying that you've got this huge negative positive vibe going on, and there's a constant flow from each side to the other side, maintaining balance, but I don't know whether small things or maybe the small things make the big ocean. In quantum physics, we have this thing of entanglement. Einstein put it in a very simple way where he said if you have two molecules which have been entangled and you find these two substances, even if there are vast differences apart, if you find this to be positive, the other one would be negative, right? So he called it two parts of a glove, which is if this is your left hand glove, the other molecule would be a right hand glove. And so there is something called entanglement, and possibly karma is a form of entanglement, which is a positive vibe and a negative vibe being present.
Change is the only constant thing, and as you said, it's in a continuous state of flux, which is trying to head towards a state of equilibrium. That exchange of positive, negative, good, bad. Karma is just a umbrella term for a layman to just use it. It's like saying custard. There's so many different types of custards. Or it might be the worst example ever on this podcast, but
That is
Really,
a
seriously.
terrible example.
You could have just said cakes.
no, I'm really hungry and I was thinking about caramel custard, which is my favorite. So yeah. But Arjun, you had something to say over here. What is that?
No, I was actually thinking about Ashish's thing of like, it's not positive, negative. Quantum entanglement is like if something becomes something in a certain space and time, there is an identical particle that takes on that same shape and value. It could be billions of light years away, or it could be even in the next room. But what Ashish was saying is right in a sense that what has affected that particle could be what affected that person, causes an immediate change or reaction in another person in the next room in your life. It doesn't mean Ashish did something to Sid, therefore something will happen to Sid and then it'll affect Ashish. No. What Ashish did by giving that homeless man 100 rupees may not be in that homeless man's equation at all. Something could have happened miles away with Ashish is not aware of. That would be a direct fallout of him handing over that 100 rupees.
Correct. I heard somebody say something before about what I was talking about and what you were talking about also, which is when we do something for somebody. Like let's say I say I'm going to go to an orphanage and I'm going to start cooking there, or I'm going to go to the Gurudwara and start cooking there, doing service in the hope of return. That if I do something good, I'm going to get something good out of it. It'll never happen. But whatever you do without ever expecting anything in return, only that works for you as karma, is what that person was saying.
Exactly. And why is that?
Don't know. Flew over my head.
Hey, you can't even simply small hope you can't have, huh? You can't.
No, he just said he believes in that.
No, I mean, I don't know what it is. For me, it's not like I fully believe in it, don't believe in it. It's something which I just don't understand. That's all it is.
Exactly. And that's what you rightly said. It is not about believing because it's something that we can't understand and nobody understands it, to be honest. It's not that I believe it because I understand it. I believe in it because I've experienced it. It's two different things.
It's observable for you, no? You could see it.
Because I still remember this particular incident which happened back in 2008. In peak of recession, I'm losing my job and I was getting late. I took an auto from Besanagar in Chennai to my office place in Mylapore. And for the first time, this auto drivers in Chennai are notorious for ripping you off and taking all your money. The concept of a metered ride doesn't exist. It's just an alien concept to them. But this guy just said, just get in. So then my alarm bells went and I'm like, no, how much I need to go here? He's like, sir, just give whatever you want. And he's crying. His eyes are red and he's just crying. And he's driving. First of all, I've never met an auto driver who says, give whatever you want in Chennai. And on top of that, I can see he's been crying for a while. So I asked him what happened. He's like, no, I had an intercaste marriage or interfaith marriage and my wife is pregnant. I need another 10,000 rupees to pay the hospital bill. And I've been riding all night. I'm short of money. I hope my wife gets well. And that's it. He didn't talk more. He was just crying and driving me to the office. And right next to the office, I just got down and I don't know why I did it because I didn't have money also. I went to the ATM. I had some 2,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees. I just withdrew the whole thing and gave it to him. I'm like, just take it. And he didn't know what to do. He like catching my feet. I like, no, don't do that. And he put his number on my phone, like call me, I will return it and all of that. But the way it went is that immediately, I think within a couple of weeks, I moved to Bangalore. I changed my number. I lost that number. But I still don't feel bad of helping him. Yes, he might have cheated me. It's a distinct possibility.
The thought ran through my mind.
I felt I did the right thing. And I'm at peace with it.
How did karma come back to help you is the question.
Sid, just to give your story some perspective, I met your auto driver 4 years back in Madras because he was crying and he was sobbing, and I asked him what happened, and he told me the same story, except his wife had a cesarean and she's in hospital. And I ran up to the house and I asked my wife, do we have anything in the house? Is there any money or whatever? And she says, why? What happened? I said, no, just give me something. She gave me some 500, 700 bucks. I ran down and I gave it to this guy, and he sobbed and he cried and he held my feet, and we exchanged numbers and he left. And then I ran up and I told my wife the whole story, and she said, okay, because when I looked out of the window, he was swinging on the gate. But coming back to your point, Sid, I still don't feel bad about what I did because, and you give him the benefit of doubt, it doesn't change what your intention was.
But this is where both of you...
Also, 1 second. Ashish, to answer your question, I know what you're going to ask.
Yeah.
This might be a payback of something bad I did and I got looted for it.
Oh.
So that's the beauty of karma. You can spin it any way. You can spin it anyway so that at the end of it, it's still a sound argument.
Anybody can misuse it. I mean, it's like a godman, no? Like how he misuses people and stirs people. People can use this, and people who believe in this and do stuff out of the goodness of their heart. Like, I feel bad for both of you. You were scammed now. Okay, you guys are normal. I mean, you don't think about karma in such a big extent, or it's not a part of your day-to-day life. But there are people who are there who probably live their whole life based on karma, and they're like, if I do good, something good will. And they just keep taking and keep giving and keeping and giving means...
So what's wrong with that?
You can't keep giving. You have to have something, for yourself.
No, it's fine.
It's not fine, man.
It's not fine according to you. The whole world does not revolve around you, Dr. Sheesh.
According to me, it does.
But it does. No. Jokes aside, but what I'm trying to say is, if a particular concept is striving to bring out the good in people, I'm for it. It's simple as that. Whether it's religion, whether it is a philosophy, whether it's an idea, I'm perfectly fine with it.
See, in this case, no, Sidhu, it is okay, because you know why? It is you doing it to yourself. So I'm also okay with it. That is, nobody is influencing you to do something good or to do something bad. This is a choice which you have made.
Right.
So I am fine with somebody who believes in karma and is giving and giving and giving. It's okay. Like, I wouldn't be fine with when somebody is using it on you and then making you make a decision. That would be wrong, right?
I didn't act because, I have this karma in back of my head. No.
Exactly.
I acted like that because that's my personality. I am the giving kind. If somebody comes and asks me money, I will give them whether I have it or not. That's who I am. I can't do much about it. It is not rooted in karma. Let me put it that way. Now, whether a particular action has a equal and opposite reaction is the very basics of physics. And that's what is karma all about, but in a slightly more intangible plane, right? That is the whole point. When the basics of physics talks about equal and opposite reaction, why not on a higher plane that we don't understand of spirituality? And that is what karma is. Now, in case we talk about rebirth and the next life and everything, then that's a little of a stretch. I agree. But if a lot of people find solace in that and it is promoting good faith and good actions and positive vibes, I say go for it. It's perfectly fine. In this world, we have so much of negativity. This is good.
Dr. Sheesh, but I'm still curious. What if you had that auto driver?
I would have given him my consultation and taken the keys for it.
Bring your wife to my hospital.
My clinic. Don't know how I would handle it. After giving that drunkard my money, I'm thinking, damn it.
But we don't know. He may have taken that 100 rupees and turned his life around.
Sometimes, I watch this thing on Facebook or whatever, all these donate, Milap, things like that, and sometimes I give. And every time I do give, I'm thinking that, are they really using it? I think I should be a little bit more like you, which is if you have given, just freaking forget
Exactly. Stop being cynical about a deed that if you want to do something, just do it. Don't think about it.
Because my whole thing is, I don't trust people. People out to this world has just become so ugly. It's like we're losing faith in people, the trust.
I think most people also react in a negative way on the assumption that the other person is also going to be negative about it. And I think 8 out of 10 people actually find a sense of relief when they find out that, oh, this person is not a bad person. I can actually be normal and nice about things.
I think in that way, Sid, what you said makes sense. Just sometimes you should just think about it as just doing something good and not expect anything in return, and it's just done and over with, and you shouldn't even think about it tomorrow. I think the basis of me thinking about it is the thing which troubles me, and I feel that doesn't allow my positive vibe. Even though I've done something good, I don't feel good about it because I'm still thinking about it. I need to just let go and accept it and say I've done something good.
I agree with Sid on that, because once you have made the decision to give, that commitment is done. You're all in. There is no further thought involved. Don't bother with that.
Because it's not in your control what happens after that.
Nothing ever is.
So that's the thing, guys. Just do what you think is right. Do not second guess yourself. Do not overthink it. Just be yourself.
And I think you're probably right, Sid. This for me, I think where we are right now, this time of the world, with all the pandemic, recession, everything hitting us, there's so much of good which we can do at this time. And some of us are really blessed enough to do stuff. And, this probably is the time. And we shouldn't overthink stuff like how I do sometimes, and just accept things for what they are and just...
Exactly. It's the season of giving. It's the Christmas season, and let's spread joy. Let's play your secret Santas, spread the cheer.
On that note, we're also accepting donations.
Yeah, I think that would help.
Just remember, good karma comes back.
Okay, the first rule of karma is you can't ask for donations. It has to be an act of giving, not asking.
All right, on that note, good night, guys. Like and subscribe.
Yes, thank you, and earn good karma and brownie points by liking and subscribing to us on our social media pages. Spread the word, and we would love to hear from you. This is Siddharth.
This is Arjun.
Dr. Sheesh.
Bye.